Alright, so now welcome to the part 2 of this video, and here we'll add different blocks to our drawing, including the door, window and other interior blocks. So let's get started. So here we have these two blocks which we have already made, and I'll start by adding this door block. For that I'll go to this copy tool, select the door block, click here and click on this endpoint and move it at the required position. So in this case I'm not quite concerned about the exact location, I just need to move it here. So I simply click on this point and press enter. Now we need to flip it, and for that I'll select it, go to this mirror tool, click on this endpoint and then click on this endpoint and select yes from erase source objects, and here we have it, the block as per our requirement. Now we can make copies of this block. So select it, make a copy and select this endpoint and move it here, close to this one, and move it once again close to this point, just like this. Alright, now we need to add one more block over here, and we obviously need to rotate that one also. So I'll once again select this copy tool, select this original block, click on this point and move it somewhere over here. Now we need to rotate it. For that, select the rotate tool, zoom into this area, select this one, press enter, click on this point, and you can simply rotate this one like this. So here we have it. Now we need to add the next block, which is this one, this door block, and for that you can simply move it. So select move tool, select it and move it over here. Alright, so here it is. Now we can also erase this block, this is no longer required. Now we have these two windows which we need to add. So I'll start by adding this window, but I'll make a copy of this, and I'll first rotate this one. So select rotate and click on this point, and you can directly make a copy by rotating this also. So I'll simply click on copy and I'll make another copy of this which is rotated to a particular angle. So you can move it also, here it is. Now select copy tool, select this one and move it on this wall. So obviously we need to move this second one, as this is the wall of 10-inch thickness, so we can move it inside this drawing, and here in this case we will place it here on this wall, just like this, and press enter. Now select this one and select copy tool and move it on this wall. You can take reference of this endpoint and I'll move it here, and now press enter. Now I'll select this window and once again I'll rotate this one, select it, click on this point, make a copy and rotate this one. We can once again move it and we can now copy it. So select it, select the copy tool and copy it on this point. So you can take reference of any of these points. I'll take the reference of this endpoint here. Alright, and once again take reference of this endpoint, place it here, place another one over here, just like this. Okay, and now we need to place one here. So I'll select this one. You can now move it directly. Select it and move it somewhere over here. So now we have this window here. I'll make one more copy of this window, select it, make a copy and move it over here. So in this case I'll take reference of this endpoint and I'll move it here. Alright, now these windows are no longer required, you can simply erase them. So windows are now added, doors are also added, but we need to clean the geometry a little bit because you can see that this area is not quite clean, and for that I'll select this trim tool once again. So select trim, press enter and simply remove these areas just like this. So you can do that quite easily using the trim tool. Alright, now it's done. And with these changes, I'll save this drawing once. So I'll click on this save. I'll go to the desktop and let's name it as floor plan. and I'll click on save. Alright, our drawing is now saved. Now we can add other blocks, and we're not going to create all of the blocks, and we already have a library of blocks within this AutoCAD 2018 or whatever version you are using, and that library is called Design Center. So you can open Design Center by pressing Ctrl 2 key on your keyboard, or you can also use its command Add Center. Now this will open the Design Center with your default view. In my case, this is the default view, or this is the last view which I have selected. So in order to return to the default view, click on this home icon and that will take you to the default view. Now select this ENUS folder and Design Center, and here you will find this list of drawing, and you can select your required type of block from this list. So I'll go to this house designer, select blocks. Now we have these blocks, so we need this bathtub. Let's drag and drop it here, and as you can see that we have this in this window color, which we obviously don't want. So we want this on the blocks layer, so let's change it to blocks, and I'll simply erase this one and I'll drag and drop it once again. Now select this toilet block, select the sink and click on home. Let's go to ENUS Design Center, and now we'll select Home Space Planner, blocks, and now we need this bed. We also need this dining set, this lamp, this plant, this sofa, and let's move to this home icon again, ENUS Design Center, and let's select this kitchens and blocks. And now we need some blocks for the kitchen, so I'll select this oven, I'll select this refrigerator and this double sink. Alright, now let's close this Design Center. We have now sufficient number of blocks here in the drawing area. Now we'll add these blocks one by one in our drawing, and I'll start with this bed. So select this one, make a copy of this and move it here. Now we can rotate this one. So select rotate tool and rotate it with this point, and I'll rotate it just like this and move it once again to the required position. In this case, I'll place it somewhere close to this point. Let's zoom a little bit, and there we have it. Now let's select this table lamp, and I'll make a copy of this and I'll move it here. Now let's make a table, a small one, and we'll place that table over here. Alright, so now we have this set quite complete, and we need to make a copy of this on this side as well. So I'll select these three objects, I'll select copy tool, click anywhere and just move it to this side like this. Now let's add the objects in the toilet, and for that I'll select this one and I'll move it inside, and this is the toilet, so I'll just place it over here. Now we need to rotate this one, so select rotate it like this, and let's now move it to one of these corners. We can take reference of this point as well if required. There we have it. Now we need to move this bathtub, so I'll select the move tool once again. Because we only have a single copy of this, we don't need to add multiple copies here. So here it is. Once again, I'll rotate this one. So click anywhere in the drawing area and rotate it like this. And I'll move it here by taking the reference of this point, just like this. Now select the sink and once again, move it over here. Alright, so these things are now added. Now we can erase this bed. This is no longer required. Now let's add this dining table. So select it, select the move tool and place it over here. We'll rotate this one as well. So select, rotate and rotate it to this 90-degree angle, and I may need to move it because we accidentally selected some other point. So there we have it. Alright, now let's add these objects in the drawing room. So I'll select this move tool and I'll move this sofa somewhere over here. And let's make a copy of this. So select copy tool, make a copy, and we'll rotate this copy of sofa. So select, rotate, select this point and make a copy like this. And let's move it a little bit towards this side. All right, there we have it. Now we can add a table here in the middle of this, or we can also move it a little bit if required, just like this. And let's move it also. And let's add the table. So I'll add the table here. Okay. And now we need to add a small filleted radius on this rectangle, and for that I'll select this fillet tool and click on radius, and I'll approximately select the radius by clicking at 2 points. So that will be the radius. Click on polyline and click on any of these lines. So that will add fillet on all of these 4 vertices. So there we have the table. Now let's add the TV here. So for the television set, I'll select the rectangle tool, click on this point, and let's add it just like this. And now let's move this plant, and I'll move it from this point to this one, somewhere over here. And I'll make another copy of this and I'll add it here. All right, and let's add it here as well. So there we have it. We can move it a little bit upwards if required, just like this. All right, so now we have added lots of blocks. We only need to add some blocks in the kitchen. So for that, I'll start with this sink, select move tool, move it here. Now select the oven and move it here. We need to rotate this one, select rotate. There we have it. Again, move and move it a little bit like this. Select the refrigerator, move it to somewhere over here. All right, now I'll move this sink a little bit towards right. Now we can move this lamp, or we can simply erase it. It's no longer required, and we need to add the slab here. And for that, I'll go to the line tool and I'll track this midpoint. I'll click somewhere over here, and now add a distance of 3 feet, press enter, join it with this point, select the line tool, and now once again with the extension type 3 feet and join it with this one. Now we can trim this portion, select trim, press enter and click on this point here. So this line is also now trimmed. So now we have added all the required blocks in our floor plan as well. So after adding these details, we can now add hatches to our drawing. And for adding the hatches, I'll go to this layer and change it to hatch. And now let's click on save icon once again. And let's move to this hatch tool. Now in this hatch, I'll select the solid pattern. That's the one which we need. And select this area, the area within this wall. Again, select this area, the area over here, and the area here, the small area here also, and here also, and the small area over here. Now make sure none of the areas are unchecked, and yes, we have added it everywhere. Now simply click on close hatch creation, and we have added the wall thickness using these hatches. And now we can add the text. So before adding the text, we need to change the text style, and that will be the style of text everywhere in the drawing area. So I'll go to this annotation, expand it, and select this text style icon. Now we have this standard text which is selected right now, and we have the font txt.shx. So I'll change it to simplex. So let's type S, and here we have the simplex.shx font. Also the height is not set, so that will take the default height. You can keep it that way if you want. Simply select apply and close. Now I'll change it to text, and let's add this multi-line text. So let's make this window and let's type bedroom 1. Now the size of text should be 1 feet, and that depends on the overall scale. For this case, I'll select 1 feet. So select the complete text, and here in the size field, change it to 1 feet and press enter. And now click outside and the text is added. So you can now move it to place it properly. And now let's make multiple copies of this. So select copy tool, select the text and make a copy of this one. I'll make it here. I'll make a copy here, here and here. You can make another copy here also and a copy over here. Now we can modify these text values. So let's double click here and let's change it to air vent. Let's change this text to toilet. You can move it as well to place it properly. Double click here, change it to bedroom 2. This one is drawing room. And we need to rotate this text as well, so we'll do it in a moment. Here we have this dining area. Let's expand it, and finally the kitchen. All right, now let's move this a little bit and we'll rotate this one. So select rotate and rotate this like this and move it here. Alright, now we have added all the required values here. We have added the text, we have added the blocks and everything within this drawing. So we finally need to add dimensions in our drawing, and we need to print this floor plan using our physical or virtual plotters. And that we'll learn in the next and the final part of this series.